Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome back to Rise and Grind. John, how's your week going?
It's going good. I can't believe I started the week off thinking that it was Thursday, and
What did you feel
now
like today?
and now here we are. Now we're at Thursday. Actually, I kept saying that on Monday. So, here we are. We're actually on Thursday, and it's been a busy week here, which we like. We like a busy week, but a lot going on the interwebs as per usual.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. We'll
How
dive
about
right.
you? How's your week?
My week is good. It's busy. Busy weeks go really fast, which to me, um, I mean, some people are like, oh, that's great that your week is going so fast. But I'm like, no, no, I need like 12 more hours in every single day to be able to get all the things that I truly want to get done, right? When you have so many big ideas, this is the biggest challenge I face every week is like, I have so many big ideas. And when you're already so busy, it's like trying to find time to work in and like, um, I try to do like 1% every day at least so that I can get to, a bigger goal. But it's hard when you're busy and the week flies by because I'm like, it's Thursday. No, I need it to be like Tuesday right now.
Well, listen, I mean, there are things like Alex Hormozy has this whole like system around and this framework around like most people, and I'm not saying obviously this is you, I'm just saying generally because I find myself doing it where let's just use the easy framework of 80/20, right? A lot of times people spend 80% of their day doing things that don't really matter to like their big rocks, right? The big things that are important to them, and then they only get 20% to the big rocks. And so reverse engineering it, where like now that you have the Aura Ring, do you know what your chronotype is?
Um, uh, yeah, I think I do actually. Let me see.
You should know it offhand, Megan.
I don't know, John. Do you know what yours is?
Yes, it's mine is late morning, which means that if I want to have a really productive day, that all of my crazy meetings and the things that are really brain like factoring, like and that take a lot of brain power, should happen between 8 a.m. and 12
Wait, how
because
do I
of
find it?
you got to go to your sleep, click on your sleep, and then scroll down, and you'll see chronotype.
Let's see. Let's see.
Um, but let's
Hmm.
see.
Oh, wait.
If you see body
Wait,
clock,
I'm late morning too.
yeah.
Yep.
So that just means that like the way that you're the most productive is in the like early half of the day. Whereas like if you're like the big decision things that you need to be doing should be happening before 12 o'clock for you.
Jeez.
Um, and anyway, that said, like obviously when you're trying to like time hack and like get these things that are really important in your week done, it's very difficult when you are, focused on these little like things that like obviously but are important too, right? So
Hmm.
so at the end of the day, I think like that's the thing. It's like mapping out what it is that you have to do, and perfect example, like I always typically will go like through our like the conversations that I need to have with follow-ups, let's just say for certain leads that I'm working with, it's like I typically try to put those at the back half of the day, and then my day gets crazy, and then I always wind up like half-assing that part where now I'm like starting to and this is like a this week thing, like I'm testing, like I'm starting my day with that stuff, and it's been way more productive because obviously our goal is to kind of keep building these partnerships and keep scaling, and
Hmm.
so doing that in the beginning of my day is really important. So anyone out there that's feeling like, hey, I can't get to what I need to get to in my day, I think one of the things is the hardest things that are the most important you should start with first, especially based on your chronotype. It's funny, there are companies now that are actually basing meeting schedules around employees' chronotypes,
Is that
and
that's incredible. That's
and
wild.
so and cancel. She's listening to me. But so anyway, so it's like knowing your chronotype kind of helps you set up your day for success. So you should go on chat and ask based on your chronotype what would be the best for your day and get those answers for yourself, Megan.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out. I'm definitely gonna figure that out. I feel like last night when I was taking a shower, I try to reflect like as much as I can in that short amount of time. And I'm like, my next focus for like learning as much as I can is going to be all about time hacking to be able to focus solely on like the most important things.
Hmm.
So I will share all of my tips here. Rise and
Love
grind.
it.
things that
Love
are
it.
there. All right, let's talk about Apple's new laptop. The Apple Neo dropped for $599. This morning, actually, is when they dropped this new product, which is really awesome.
That's
Some people are
wild.
saying it's crazy. I mean, that is so affordable for most people. And of course, they have their payment plans, right? So I think it comes out to like $40 a month, which that's just another subscription for most people when you think about it.
Right.
Um, and so some people are saying, wow, it's, the price is so low. Does it signify a recession? And other people are saying, well, I don't know if a lot of people are buying new tech as frequently as the company maybe wants. And so maybe they lowered the price so that they can sell more at volume, which is true. I mean, aside from you, I feel like you get a new phone like every year.
No
But
phone
most people don't.
phones. I would say probably like every two, ish. Because like before I got that flip phone, that Android phone, I had the other phone for like 3 years.
That's true. But then laptops though, I mean, we hold on to our laptops for a few years.
Yeah, I'll have like me because I typically buy my laptop stupidly. I'm gonna stop doing that, but I typically buy the laptop and then I'll keep it for like at least 3 to 4 years.
Oh my gosh. My sister had my first um, MacBook and it lasted her all the way up until last year. I got that in 2013. So that's a
Wow.
long time to go with a laptop. So it's like if people are holding on to their tech like that and only getting new tech when they really need it, I think this is a great way to lower the price and have people like, why not upgrade? Because it's really affordable to do so.
Yeah, it's wild. It's super super wild to me though, because that means that Apple's now like because before there was never like if you were in the market for a PC. And again, don't get me wrong, some people are just native to PC, obviously, but a lot more people typically go to PC because it's way more affordable. You can go get a PC for as little as $199, right, somewhere. So, like those netbooks, and it's like at the end of the day, now that they're competing, because like PC laptops, like Dell's, they go for 599, 499, 699 all day.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're kind of like competing and they're making it affordable. So what's so interesting is that, and I think it's such a smart play because when you think about it, the gateway to iPhone is making an affordable laptop. Because if you go and you start having a MacBook now, MacBook Neo, and you're like, wow, this thing is awesome. I love this. And you're an Android user and you never wanted to ever do Apple because it's too expensive or whatever the hell. Now you're open to it because it's the same price as a typical PC. And then if you try it and you like it, now you're going to move over to the other devices, which could
Right.
be an iPhone or whatever the hell. So very, very interesting play.
That's an interesting way to look at it. It's an entry point into all of the other Apple products as well.
Hmm.
Because once you get it, then you're going for the headphones, maybe, and then the phone, and then yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, to me that seems like the play because other than that, like why Mac Mac has always been the company who is like, premium and intentionally okay with not being affordable because the devices are obviously like second to none. Like the hardware is really nice, the software is really nice, the integration amongst all devices is amazing. So it's like you're paying a premium, right? And they always had that standard. So for the first time, making something that like economical is a big deal.
Yeah, I
Because
definitely
to
agree.
your, because your to your point before we jumped on this call, you were talking about how you can't get AirPods for like under 499 or 399, especially the newer ones.
They're over the head headsets are like
Yeah,
$499. So it's like, I mean, that's for $100 more, you're getting a whole laptop. That's crazy.
that's nuts.
Yeah, that's really wild. So
Yeah, I
uh
still I still have the MacBook that started adapting social. Shout out to Grandma Joni, but and that thing still works too. So when you think about it, it's pretty crazy.
yeah, that's awesome. That needs to be put in like an adapting social museum one day.
Yeah. Well, when our office is done being built, we're gonna have that thing booming up there
Yeah, we need to.
in a glass case or something.
I love that. Okay. Our next topic is McDonald's CEO. His video went viral this past week. The internet was blowing up. Really just upset with his video. If you haven't seen it, he is sitting in his office and he's trying one of the new burgers. He starts off by calling it a product, and that's, I think, where people got a little upset at first, where they're like, it's food, it's not a product, like why are you calling it a product? But I can see for him and his business, he has a lot of different, products or menu items that he sells, right? So maybe he's just using the business language. And then he goes to take a bite and he's like, oh, what a big bite, and it's the smallest bite in the world. So people are saying he looks really uncomfortable eating his own food. He's not taking a huge bite out of it. What does that actually tell you about the quality of the meal? So consumers are going crazy. And then there's the other side of consumers who are saying, well, hold on a second, this is actually a really good strategy. And we see this with a lot of big brands who are trying to connect more intimately with their audiences by using an executive to sit face to face or speak directly to their consumers. So we see like Elon Musk does this, Donald Trump does this on an extreme level, but where they're just no filter talking to their audience. And as a result, they have a group of consumers who either really love what they say, and then sometimes they do unhinged stuff. And most of McDonald's CEO's videos get pretty good comments. This one just happened to get people really upset.
He's got you got to wonder how he's feeling though, like knowing that but there's a bunch of people now that are other food, like Burger King CEO, it did the same thing now. Like all these other CEOs are doing it in the food space, that he started that trend. To me, when you first brought it up and I looked it up, like I was like, what do you mean? Like he ate the burger. It wasn't like he was like, oh. Like I thought he was gonna be making a weird face or like whatever the hell. But you have to remember, this guy is a CEO of one of the largest companies in the world, right? That doesn't, most CEOs that are at that scale, they don't have these flourishing, amazing, funny personalities. They're not,
No.
he's not going to be like, oh my God. Like, that's not his personality. You can just tell by looking at him, that is an analytical dude. Like, that
Yeah.
guy, you can just tell he is an analytical guy, the CEO of McDonald's. So, like, when I watched that video for the first time and you told me to look at it, like, that didn't like my expectations were not like, or my visceral reaction wasn't like, oh wow, this guy hates his food, like, this looks terrible. My reaction was, this is one of the Fortune 100 CEOs of the world eating a meal. And I bet if that guy was playing golf or tennis and we looked at his reactions are probably all like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give me that vibe. But then again, I know people, right? In my job, it's my job to know and understand people. Most people that are just regular consumers or are trolls on the internet do not, and they just want fuel for fire. So
Right.
like, looking at him, like personally, I don't think he did anything wrong, right? Like personally, like I think the only thing he could have done better was not be in his office eating that meal. Like he could have been in a kitchen, like the Burger King guy. Like the Burger King guy went into a kitchen and got it right off the line and ate it right there, right? Like that was pretty badass. But outside of that, I mean, I don't see anything that he did like look weird or wrong to me personally, right? Like again, like knowing his personality type, right? So at the end of
You
the day,
And like when you think about it, when most people eat a burger, are you like, that's the best burger I've ever had? Like you like take your bite and you move on, right? Like I think to your point.
it depends on the burger. If like I was saying to you, like if I like back in the day before kids, like if I'm out and we're out drunk or whatever, like we ended up at McDonald's and when I had that first bite of that Big Mac, whoa.
You do a
Like
happy dance?
oh, absolutely. I was doing backflips. But at the end of the day, like, again, like it depends on the burger, depends on the situation. But to your point, right? Like how people a majority, if we went and interviewed everybody we know, at least I would say probably almost 100%, maybe 90+% of people have had a McDonald's hamburger in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's like when you eat a McDonald's hamburger, like it's not like wow. So I don't know. Either way, I think the internet's just trolling and they're just, whatever. But it's people who just are looking for things to, talk about, right? And to like cause an issue about. So
Right.
you know.
And the food topic is a hot topic right now. A lot of people are talking about what's in our food. So I feel like it's just an easy attack on him. A lot of advertisers though are putting out articles or commenting under the video like keep posting, like don't let this deter you from posting.
Right.
Don't see a lot of executives posting like that where it's very
Right.
non-edited, right? So yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, I found that super. Listen, like that's why I had this conversation recently. With Jamie from Me Clean Bro, and it's like no matter what you do, you're going to be attacked in some way. Like there's going to be like, especially if you're out there and you're putting yourself out there versus the people who like don't ever post but just watch people,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of quasi like you do, Meg, right? Like you're just kind of watching mainly, right? So just kidding. But it's like most people that don't post anything at all, period, zero, like that have these stupid fake accounts that are just like bashing people. The thing I hate about that though is like, like there's a small business right now that's local to us that's just getting constant like beat up right now, and they're going through some stuff, and I feel bad for them. But like when you look at all the trolls that are like in the comments and whatever, if you click on their accounts, like you'll see that like they have no followers and no posts, and like they just
Oh
created
god.
they just created that account to be an a-hole
Yeah.
on social media to people. And so, obviously some of these things, like I was watching the interview with Mr. Beast, and I'm sorry, not Mr. Beast, Logan Paul on the iced coffee hour. And they asked him about Prime, and like, oh, I hear Prime is tanking, he's doing terrible now, whatever. I actually heard that too before I heard this interview, and I was like, oh shit, like, because at one point they were worth like $5 billion.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, all from them creating this, influencer based, energy drink, whatever. And he's like, the thing that sucks is that you have all these people on the internet that are making these baseless claims that like, the drink is not good for you or blah blah blah. And the problem with that is that these trolls go on and try to like screw with people, and some of them get through, right? Like they like the he shared like that. Some of when people say certain things like this, like it takes a hit on sales.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tough part about the internet. Like he said, like the second that for instance, like, one of the things that went out was that they have like those forever chemicals in them, like that are in like, the water or something, the PFAs.
Mm-hmm.
And the second that went out, he said on TikTok there were all these like attorneys that were on TikTok talking about how you can like sue Prime for drinking PFAs and these other things, whatever. He's like, so I had like not only like these trolls, but I had like these attorneys trying to like jump on the wave and to get attention, so they were doing it too, right? So it's like I
Gosh.
yeah, so like it's like I don't know, either way it just makes me think like from when you think about like what it takes to be a celebrity and
Mm-hmm.
how like you never have privacy and peace and like whatever, like those people don't earn a living based off of selling a product normally. It's like typically like they're movie stars, right? It's like when you have a bad day and people are like shitting on you, it's like whatever, that sucks, it's annoying. But these influencers, they make money off of these products that they sell. So
Mm-hmm.
like when they get this scrutiny, that scrutiny leads to like a decline in their income, right?
Right.
Like so very, very difficult, very difficult thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna say does this work? Boo boo to the haters, okay? On the McDonald's CEO thing. I don't agree with that.
There you go. Love that.
I'm giving him a clap on my side. I think, he put himself out there being vulnerable, you know, and that's what it takes in this world right now. There's not like you said, there's not many CEOs doing that type of stuff. He was doing it. So, kudos to him.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get this guy on the podcast. I'm gonna have Steven reach out to this guy.
We should reach out.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him.
Comment about your video, your social strategy.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him.
Might as well. You got to shoot your shot.
You have to. What's your favorite brand right now?
My favorite brand?
Yeah, like
Like
it
in
could be
what way?
anything. In any way, you're like my
Like
favorite
because I
brand is
like the
X.
product or because I like their marketing or like their brand?
Both.
Oh gosh. Hmm. That's a really tough question, actually. What brand do I like right now? Hmm. I don't.
Right. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. What were you gonna say?
I'm saying the brand that you should be fucking saying right now, but you're not.
Is it Adaptive
Um,
Social?
no, Dunkin' Donuts. The stuff that Dunkin' is doing right now, like, so me and Jacqueline, as per usual, she risked my life to go get a Facebook Marketplace thing the other day,
Mhm.
and we both were like at some random spots. So, like I had to use the bathroom, right? So I was like, I have to pee. Like, where could we go? And there's a Dunkin' next to it. I have not stepped foot in a Dunkin', and I don't even know how long, right? The only time I've ever been to a Dunkin' before a couple, like, I think it was like 2 years ago when I was getting like those like coffees from there.
Mhm.
But I would always go through the drive-thru. I never really went inside. And like when you see like what they're doing in the Super Bowl, when you see like the stuff that they're innovating to try to be relevant still, like and putting a real genuine effort towards it. When I stepped inside it yesterday, I was like pretty like impressed, right? Like to see how they're innovating in all the different drinks that they're launching now with influencers all over the boards and stuff like that in their actual locations. So you're seeing people that you know and that like you follow typically on social media like I just think like they're out of most companies. Like I think right now in that space, because like if I walk into a Starbucks, in my opinion, Starbucks looks the same. I mean, it's the same
Mhm.
stuff, it's the same things. Like obviously they've kind of always been looked at as like the pinnacle of coffee, I guess, like anywhere you want to grab it from like a premium coffee perspective. But I think what Dunkin' is doing for their brand in store and online, and even in the Super Bowl ads and the people they're bringing into stuff. I think they're doing a really great job. And again, I don't drink coffee. I don't ever go to Dunkin'. I'm not really a Dunkin' customer. But saying that from the outside, like seeing the effort that they're putting in towards like continuously building that brand into this,
Mhm.
like into our modern and like ever fast pacing moving culture, I just think they're doing such a good job at it.
Yeah. Yeah, Dunkin' didn't come to mind to me, but they do have really good marketing. Dunkin's done a really good job of adapting their brand over the years too, because it used to be
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts, right? And it used to be like very 90s oriented, early 2000s. And then they made the change to just Dunkin' and they updated most of their locations, got a facelift to make it look a little
Yeah.
more modern and trendy. Um, and their marketing went along with that. And that was a really great pivot for them to stay relevant and trendy. And then the fact that, you have one every 2 miles or so, like you could always find a Dunkin' Donuts near you, I feel like, at least in our area. You
Do
can
you
always.
know no do you know what's funny? There was a whole me and my friend Steve who lives in the city. There's a whole thing about this, right? So essentially he has like a commute. I'm sorry, he lives in Hoboken and then he
Mhm.
commutes into the city, right? And he jokes around and says like there's a Dunkin' everywhere obviously, but most Dunkins in the city are these little tiny closets, so like holes in the walls.
Yeah.
And like he goes, there's the Dunkin' that he goes to, like you can't even stand in it. Like you walk in, you have to grab your coffee and go because there's no like it's so tiny.
Yeah.
That's how many Dunkins that there are throughout the city, as an example, right? But it's just wild though, that people now when you go to Dunkin' though, like you do you like when you think about Dunkin' versus Starbucks, right? Now, I'm not going to say, I guess we can throw Rook into the mix there.
Mhm.
When you look at those three brands, right? Let's start with the two main chains, right? When you think about Dunkin' and Starbucks, what is the big separator for you? Because I always see you with Dunkin'. Is it like just on the way? It's
Dunkin'
convenient?
is
Like,
just on the way. And Dunkin' is like, and like I would actually throw in like, let's replace Rook with Nespresso because I feel like Rook is like
yeah,
more of a local brand.
yeah,
Because like my go-to is like Nespresso. Like I would rather make my coffee at home if I have Nespresso because of the quality of it. If I don't have time to make coffee for whatever reason and I'm running late, I'll grab Dunkin' because it's on the way to the office. But I would, if I had to stop, I would prefer Starbucks over Dunkin' just in terms of like the quality of the coffee and how they make the drink. Dunkin' is so, it's just not consistent depending on where you go. Like one drink, I like sweet drinks, right? So like my iced coffee could be all milk, like at one location. The other one, it could have like no sugar at all or like way too much sugar. Whereas I feel like at Starbucks, no matter the location, I've always gotten a consistent drink.
right.
Nice. Um, but Nespresso actually has Starbucks pods. And Chris and I were just talking about this because I was like, it's so interesting because we've tried the Starbucks pods for the Nespresso And they're just not as great as Nespresso. But and what an interesting opportunity, right? Because they both sell coffee beans. So like that's approaching your competitor and saying like, "Hey, we'll sell your beans to our consumers." And some people might say that's a really silly idea, but when you think about it, now Nespresso is profiting off of the people that love Starbucks so much and just want an
Right.
so that's really interesting too. But if I had to choose, it would be Nespresso. And actually, the brand that came to mind when you asked me what your favorite brand is Nespresso right now. Just I like the overall branding. I really like the messaging that they have, and the customer service I think is really great too. Like, and I also like that when I order my coffee, I get it in 2 days, which is
Uh-huh.
incredible. That wasn't always the case. Yeah.
That is cool though. Jack is obsessed with it too. Um, she's literally obsessed with it. Um, it's like I and as I've like been on my journey with this whole coffee thing, 'cause, I don't really drink coffee, and I drink my decaf espressos. I love the strong taste of espresso,
Yeah.
out of the Nespresso. So I think it's such a good bold taste. But I'm like you though, where I like it to taste good. So I found this like vanilla oat milk at Whole
Yeah.
Foods, that doesn't have like any gums and any crap in it. So at the end of the day, um, it's like finding. I've always, to me, like I like the thought of making it at home, but you guys in the Asbury Park office like really broke my brain because I've never been a coffee drinker, and just seeing how much money you guys would spend on coffee like weekly, and like go out and I would be like this is crazy. Like we would have coffee makers in there, coffee machines and stuff. But I think there's like a element that I'm starting to understand now with like I love like my favorite coffee place is Batch by far.
Mm,
I love Batch and Manasquan. Shout out to them, the ladies there. They do a fantastic job. Their team there and the Manasquan location is awesome. Love everybody there. But their coffee is just so delicious, right? I love everything they do there, and it's like I also like going in and the experience of going in though, right? So I think
mhm.
like it's interesting when you think about like people who are smokers and addicted to smoking, like you are addicted to like a hand gesture just as much as you're addicted to like, the action as just as much as you are to the nicotine and the stuff like that that comes with it. Like people like that's why when they stop smoking, they still need to like do things like with their hands and stuff to keep that like going. And so like I feel like people just like the experience of going out and buying coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like sometimes coffee tastes better when someone else makes it for you. I don't know how that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. But yeah, I think it just depends. Like, I also, because
We
I
gotta,
love,
oh, we gotta show my guy. We gotta show my guy. Decaf, ill, bro. Why? I know. Listen, I know. I don't know why, but
because it gives them the jitters.
I get too hyper, man. If I drink normal coffee, I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm doing crazy things. And again, I still think your husband has a personal attack on me with F decaf espresso or whatever decaf coffee shit. I'm like, that is a personal attack on me. Like,
That's so
that's
funny.
it's literally a personal attack. But anyway, I also read something that like when it comes to actual caffeination, that people, if you don't drink your coffee within your chronotype windows, that it actually has an adverse effect on you versus it boosting your energy throughout the day.
Really?
So you should look into that with your chat.
Yeah.
um, you got to go on a whole journey this morning with your chat on your chronotype because like it really helps you optimize your performance like in your like actual like energy levels, like the things you're doing, like all that stuff. Like for instance, as an example, like people who are your chronotype, like you doing like your yoga at nighttime, right,
Yeah.
is most likely not conducive as if it was if you did yoga in the morning, as an example, for like what your body is in alignment with.
Yeah,
So
that's probably right. I've actually noticed like the one thing I've been loving the Aura Ring, but I do notice like when I work out at night, my sleep score isn't as high because my heart rate doesn't lower until way later
yeah,
in the night.
right.
Um, so I'm loving seeing the trends like that. But yeah, now that I know that your chronotype depicts like a lot of your life, I need to learn more about
Yeah, yeah. All right, and then we gotta listen one more time. He said,
it.
boom, FD. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I get it. I get it. Trust me, when I did have the caffeination running through me, I loved it, right? But it was just one of those things where I was just too crazy. You know, I went off the rocker over here. So, um, but I appreciate the love, man. I take it as love. But you know, at the end of the day, we are crazy enough. Where are we right now? We're about to we're going into Q2
We're
next
ending
month.
Q1 right now. Yeah, everyone's preparing for Q2. Um, and I just can't believe that it's March already.
Boom.
Danny.
I love it, Danny. Let's go. Danny for our team says Starbucks decaf green tea makes my day. You know what? The fact that it makes your day makes my day, Danny. Um, and I love tea too, though. I'm a chamomile tea guy. See, that's the problem. Most people, if you drink coffee or any sort of like caffeination products, you're looking for uppers.
Mm,
I'm constantly looking for downers because I'm a nut job. So like I'm literally like I drink chamomile tea, like I'm doing, you know, obviously decaf espressos, all that shit. Also, what's dangerous is that when I was out in Asbury with your husband,
hmm
I was enlightened to the fact that you can get decaf espresso martinis.
You sure
So
can.
I never even thought of that.
Oh
And
my gosh.
that's
Were you taking them? You had,
probably not a great thing for me.
yeah,
So
probably not.
I should not have probably known that until now. So but anyway, so yeah, so guys, happy Thursday. It is almost end of freaking Q1, which is so wild. So if you're a business owner watching this, strap in, man. You're gonna blink, guys, and it's gonna be the end of the damn year. And if you are a team member or an employee somewhere and you got goals, get after it, guys, because again, we're gonna blink and the year's gonna be over. So happy Thursday, guys. I hope you crush the rest of your week. Thanks for watching.